Today marks the end of a fantastic week that we've had and sitting in on one of the CTO's workshop on product development, reflecting on the Singapore model. It was a really invaluable exercise for myself. It presented two tremendous opportunities for me. One, it was in a very cost-effective way, allowed me to get a very good insights into what Singapore has done, what they're continuing to do in terms of product diversification and development. And it also allowed me an opportunity to network with all of my colleagues and peers across the region to get an idea of what they're doing and how they're applying some of these ideas, and so that we can try to establish some best practices and apply them in St. Lucia. So our takeaway from the workshop is really the networking that we were able to engage in with a number of the other colleagues and institutions across the island, to look at some of the best practices that Barbados is employing and using, and of course to really test run our ideas off of the facilitator for the Singapore Model Workshop, so that when we get back home we can really hit the ground running.
One of the main things that I really enjoyed about this workshop was just learning about the Singapore model and understanding their product diversity, and then trying to think about Cayman and how to implement those things within our own product industry over in the destination. One of the main things that I took away is Singapore is also a very small island nation, and they have so much to offer and so much to offer their tourists that those types of things are things that stimulate my mind to try to implement into the Cayman tourism product.
For the workshop, it shows you the diversity to product development. The Singapore model, which is the model I was really focused on here today, well, for the week, it showed you that no matter what you have, you can build on it. The possibilities are endless. I've learned quite a lot, and when I get back home, there's a lot of strategic planning to be done, a lot of implementations to be made to make my product much better, to give the visitor experience to the visitors that come to the island. I've benefited in many ways in that I've learned that no idea is a foolish idea. It can be built on, it can be developed into a successful product and be made into a wonderful experience for the visitor. There are quite a few things I would like to implement, especially the importance of research and data collection. This will help in making your product more, what should I say? It will make the product a better product.
For me, it was very interesting. I actually came with a pretty specific mission. I came here trying to understand if Singapore's model for success for tourism was really very dependent on how it functions as a tourism destination, or if it was really more related to how its government functions. I've always sort of studied how Singapore government operates, and I've been fascinated. So really I came with a specific question in mind. And what I found is that really the success of their tourism industry is very much the result of the open government, the fact that they use data to make long-term decisions, that they are very transparent with their facts, figures, plans, and they're accountable to the people for a long-term vision. So I really think that all their economic activities are successful as a result of the way their government operates. The Singapore model, I think, is very interesting that they plan for the long term. They use data. Tourism satellite accounts is obviously a key part of managing the tourism industry. So I think really collecting better data so that we can make decisions for the long term.
For me, being here was a great experience. In fact, the Singapore model, I feel, as though it was perhaps one of the best that could have been selected. After beginning the sessions, I actually began carrying out additional searches into the whole concept that Singapore has utilized over the past 50 years. And of course, some things were surprises for me. Overall, I think that it was a holistic approach that was taken here at the conference, and being able to even partner with many of our sister territories and countries here in the Caribbean, we were able to put the best foot forward in terms of looking at best practice scenarios. Now, usually when we talk about products, of course, people always look at the Sun's End and see the typical products. But here we saw a lot of authenticity and creativity also coming out. I know it may seem like an oxymoron in itself, but we did see a large degree of, how should I put it, inspiration in terms of ideas that we as West Indians sometimes overlook and feel as if it may not be viable or sustainable, when in fact it is. And one of the components that really came out in terms of viability, the financial side. What is our approach? Are we truly utilizing the statistics that's out there? Are we utilizing even our membership with CTO, for example, in terms of going back looking at reports that may have been done, creating that firm basis or foundation for development? So I think in all, the workshop was extremely great one.
The workshop on Singapore model, it was very beneficial because during school time, we usually have a comparison between Trinidad and Singapore because our first prime ministers both attended the same university, and we look at the problems in Trinidad and the successes of Singapore, but we have never thought, okay, well, let's adapt what Singapore model has done that Trinidad hasn't done. So I think this workshop is very informative, and it should not just be in tourism, but also in other From this Singapore model on tourism, I believe that the factors and the elements learned about strategic planning, tourism master planning, and being creative and innovative, these ideas can be strategically thought through, and we can work on our destination management strategy.
I'm pleased to be here as part of the CTO-sponsored workshop on tourism development, the Singapore model. I had a wonderful time here this past week. We had 4 days of intensive workshop sessions, sharing with our facilitator, learning from his experiences, and also interacting with a range of tourism practitioners from across the region. This is what Caribbean tourism is really all about. The opportunity to get together, share experiences, learn from each other, and I think that I have a wealth of information that I can take back to my country of Anguilla and start to work on the implementation of enhancing our existing tourism product.